into the lie of success. Shortly after COVID, I found myself in a really unique place in my life. I had, for many years, just had such a up and down relationship with money, success in business, in my career, finances, all that. And everybody around me wanted me to make money, including myself. And that's all my life uh, um, was made up of, was Cletus making more money. I was divorced at the time. My son's mother wanted me to make more money. I was dating someone else. She wanted me to make more money. My parents wanted me to make more money. My I wanted to make more money. And so what I ended up doing was just finding myself the exact place and time, and I was in it was a dark night. I had just dropped off my boys. I was sitting in a random hotel in my car outside this hotel. It's a dark, rainy Seattle night. And I just was like, please, somebody come save me. I just envisioned someone showing up, knocking on my window, pulling me out of my car and saving me. And it was that moment that I realized that nobody's coming. Nobody's coming to save me. And this really deep darkness I was in was my own doing. I had put myself in this darkness. And what it stemmed from was I got really confused. There was a lot of fog. That's what happens for a lot of us. We get fog in between us and what is true. And I had just been so convinced. I was sucked into this lie that in order for me to be a success, I needed to have a phenomenal career. I needed to have an amazing business. I needed to make a bunch of money. And I was getting that from everybody around me. And this is where if you're new to my philosophy and concepts, I have something I call the mirror principle. And I don't know if I called it or I've adopted it from somebody else. Anyway, I use the idea of the mirror. And the reason why everybody around me, all they would talk to me about was money, my career. What are you going to make this month? Do you have any money coming in? And I had really narrowed in on this identity that all I am is just someone who needs to make money and have a phenomenal career and be successful in business. Anything along those external monetary things was me. And because I wasn't, that's when I seriously began to question that. Then what am I doing here? Why am I even here? I'm sucking at what I'm supposed to be doing. And the reason why I was attracting all that is because that's how I saw myself. And so that's how I was showing up and that's what I was attracting. And that dark night in Seattle was the first time that I took a pause and said, "Hold on, hold on, hold on. There's more to me than just this. As a human being, as a man, as a father, there's more to me than this. What is that?" Because obviously this thing hasn't been working, isn't consistent. Something's up there. I'm willing to bet that the answers are potentially in these other areas of me, but who the heck are they? Because nobody came to me and was like, "Dude, you're an amazing partner. You're an amazing boyfriend or husband, or you are a phenomenal father." And I'm not saying nobody ever. I'm sure in passing, people's like, "Hey, man, you're a really good father." Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. How much money are you making? Do you got a job yet? Is your business getting off the ground? So it all came back to money. So, like I said, it wasn't, "Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for joining." Um, it really came back to who else? What am I? Who am I other than this thing? And that was my first step into this idea of becoming the torch. Even though I couldn't see it, I knew there were other parts to me. I felt it, but I was just subscribing and believing in the scoreboard and that success for me. Once I get the career, once I make the money, once I blow up the business, then people will start seeing the real me. Then they'll start respecting me. Then they'll start loving me. Then they'll get off my back about money and we can actually do other things, like go out on dates or have sex or uh, be in other things that a relationship was or you know, whatever, you name it, things other than money. And it's a trap, my friends. And look, here's the thing. It's not your fault because we've been sold this lie of success. And I'm going to prove it to you right here live. I'm going to take it first from an athlete's perspective. I'm a former athlete. So if you like sports, if you've been an athlete, you may relate to this. Or if you even have kids who are athletes, but even if you lead people, but regardless, let's look at it from an athlete standpoint. Let's say that you go and compete in an athletic competition when you were younger, you come home and maybe your parent or guardian didn't go to your game, your competition. What's the first question that they ask you when you walk in the door? What's that first question? Did you win? Or they'll say something covert like, how'd you do? They're trying to get to the outcome, the success in your sport, your competition. The thing about it is we can't control that. We cannot control whether we win or we lose. And so if we say, yeah, we won, it's like, oh man, high fives, hugs, kisses, popsicles all around, like let's party. If we didn't win, ooh, what happened? Did you not play very well? Okay, now fast forward to adulthood. Now we're coming up on summer. You're in a backyard barbecue with one of your neighbors, and they lean over and go, man, the Joneses down the street, they're really successful. What are they referring to? The money, the material, the nice Tesla in the driveway, the sweet vacation pics on IG. That's how they're deeming success. And we have been sold a lie. Because success so often in our society, and look, I said, you're not at fault here because society and most likely who raised you, the environment you were in, all of that was focused on, especially if you live in the US, is on success on the scoreboard, right? The outcomes, the results. The problem with that is, I'll go back to my story in the very beginning. When we lock in on, okay, in order for me to be a success, I need to have the money, the car, the vacations, then I'll get the respect, then I'll get the love. Uh, that, my friends, is something we cannot control. And there's so much more to us than that. And we kind of foreclosed on that idea that the only way for me to be successful is to have money, and oftentimes, I'm just speaking from a male's perspective. For a lot of men or those with masculine energy, it's achieve and accomplish, and I got to achieve and accomplish. For women, oftentimes it's their looks and their beauty. If they're not seen as beautiful, then there's something wrong with them. What's up, all from India? I appreciate y'all checking in from all over the world. That's fantastic. It really doesn't matter, male, female, masculine energy, feminine energy. Like, look, we are more than a scoreboard. So, in fact, I'm going to give you a quick, and doing this in the vertical might be interesting, but just bear with me here. I want you to see that, for us, we've got what makes us up as human beings. And we have the human dimension, which is the horizontal, and the being dimension, which is the vertical. On the human dimension, that's the scoreboard. That's what everything that makes us up as human lives. And I'm not saying that experiencing those things are not something we would want. Absolutely. Yeah, I want to have success. I want to grow my YouTube channel. I want to grow my business. I want to create the lifestyle by my own design. Absolutely. However, when we focus and think that the things on the human dimension are what's going to bring us fulfillment, happiness, love, respect. That's the trap. This is the lie, that if we can nail this horizontal human dimension, then that which makes us, the vertical dimension, the being, the love, the respect, the happiness, the peace, that's going to come. That is a lie, because we can't control the scoreboard. And so if we have money on the human dimension, then I'm going to be set. I'm going to be happy. If I'm in love and I've got an amazing relationship, well, then I'm going to be a success. Or if I lead this many people on my team, we have to reframe our view of success off of the scoreboard, because it's a lie. It's lying to you. We've been lied to, and we are blindly following it, thinking that if I can just achieve it, then I'm going to experience it. And I see this just so rampant especially in organizations where you have leaders. I mean, think about it. Well, let me ask you, if you run an organization, you lead a team, you probably have different KPIs, you have quotas that you need to hit. And so it's all focused on the scoreboard. And then what happens if you don't hit it? Well, then what's wrong with you? Or you may not be successful in this role or successful in this company. And we attach our self-worth and our identity to success on the scoreboard. That, my friends, that's where the anxiety, the stress, the worry, the depression, that's what just really hits. And so, and it's just, again, the lie is prevalent anywhere, because when you think about setting goals, what do people set goals on? The outcomes. You can't control them. You can't control how much money you make. You can't control what the people you lead are going to do, your employees. You can't control what your customers are going to do. You can't control what the market's going to do. It's out of your control. And ultimately, it's the scoreboard. It's just feedback. And I'll give you an example. So, how many of you, when you go on vacation, you're worrying about, shoot, are they going to take care of business while I'm gone? Or if you're in the sales profession, you're thinking, gosh, that's 2 weeks or a week off of not calling, things slipping through, or you're thinking about work, or maybe you're doing some work. You're not able to experience the vacation because you're so worried about success on the human plane, the human dimension. You don't get to experience the relationship you're in with somebody. You don't get to experience the business that you've created or the team that you're leading, because there's so much anxiety and worry and identity and self-worth attached to that scoreboard. Because what happens, especially if you're in a management role at an organization and your team isn't performing, you think it's a reflection of who you are as an individual. And the team is going to reflect back to you, but it's reflecting back to you where you can improve, where you can get better. But sometimes we take it on as if it's a reflection of my character or my worth. And so we respond with anger, with sarcasm, disconnection, toxicity. And that's what ends up ruining teams, ruining organizations, because we've lost that beingness. We're bringing the human. Okay, I'm going to teach you how to do these things. I'm going to train you. But we're forgetting about that human connection. Or at the end of the day, what is it that we really want to experience? So we've been lied to, and that success is outside of us. Guess what, my friends? That's a lie. And I'd like to reframe your view of success based on an outcome and reframe it towards the mastery, the self-mastery. Where can you improve yourself on all levels so that you can be the individual capable, this is the key, capable of experiencing results on that human dimension, on that scoreboard. This is the reverse way of thinking it. It's usually, hey, let me get in, let me make a bunch of money, let me have a bunch of success, and then I'll experience fulfillment and joy and happiness and love and respect. And it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Mastery is like, let me go find that within myself now so that I can show up from that level and recognize that the scoreboard of life isn't judging me on whether I'm successful or not. It's just giving me feedback. That's all it is. You didn't win, you didn't fail. It's just feedback. Man, I wish I understood this 30 years ago. From being an athlete to first starting my business to getting in a relationship, having kids. Man, I wish I understood this. So if you're still in the early stages of your life, there you go. Hopefully there's a little lesson, a little insight. Do not what I did. But I tell you what, I'm so grateful for it all because it helped me get clarity and understand all of this where I'm at and how I've become and how I've grown tremendously through all my setbacks, all my failures. So the success, how we've been traditionally taught, which is outside of us and it's on the scoreboard, is a lie. Now, what I get often, and I'll end with this, with people who are in business, they own a company, they run a team, they say, but Cletus, we still have to make money. We still have to grow the business. We still have to hit our numbers. Exactly. Exactly. You're right. You do. The thing about it is, you're going to do what everyone else is doing and following the same lie, the same path. In order to be successful, I have to hustle harder and grind harder and put everything on the line on the scoreboard, which we can't control. What if, just what if, you reframed your focus, took it off the scoreboard, put it back on you, and improved yourself as a leader of an organization, leader of a team? Maybe you lead your customers. Because you can't lead them to a level that you haven't gotten to. So you're saying, hey, I want to lead them up here. I want to get them to this space, but you personally are still down here. We're not hitting our results. We're not hitting our numbers. Yeah, why don't you try? Let's try elevating, growing myself, because that's just going to grow the team, and the results will take care of themselves. The scoreboard is not a good indicator of how successful you are. It's just feedback. It's just feedback. We can't control our outcomes. What can we control? And I'll leave you with this: our attitude, our effort, and our response. Attitude, effort, response. 3 things we can control. So the success that most of us have learned what's successful is a lie. Could you imagine? Do you think Elon Musk is a success? The guy is a damn near trillionaire. Would you be in a relationship with Elon Musk? Right? I'm by all means, I'm not trying to judge anybody, but the guy is, regardless of what's happened in his relationship, but the guy is incredibly dedicated to shifting humanity. Might not be easy to be in a relationship with someone, unless that's aligned for you. So, what does success look like? There's plenty of people with money who are dying for love, dying for friendship and connection. So success, how we've learned it really ultimately is a lie. And let's just reframe our focus and put it on that which we can control and who we really are. Right? We are human beings. We are, in my case, I'm a parent. I'm a friend. I'm a partner. I'm a business owner. There's so many things that make me up, and I am going to be very unsuccessful in a lot of ventures in my life. But each setback, each challenge is simply feedback on where I can improve and I can get better. All right, my friends, go improve, get better today. Eyes off the scoreboard, put it on that which you can control, and know that success